an oral exchange of sentiments, observations, opinions, or ideas.
An avenue for growth and intellectual stimulation,
A platform for understanding and deliberation.
where ideas and experiences are amplified and broadcasted.
To dispel the darkness of ignorance with the illuminating light of knowledge. A very good evening, respected professors, budding technocrats, and enthusiasts of different fields,
With great enthusiasm, we welcome you to Wartalap.
where conversations spark inspiration and ideas flow freely. I am Arsis with a very charming
Benga Perina. And tonight, we have an electrifying lineup of guests who are here to share their wisdom and experiences with us. But before we dive into the depths of discussion, let's take a moment to welcome our esteemed guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you may know, our first speaker, Mr. 𝘚𝘩𝘳𝘪, couldn't make it due to some unavoidable circumstances. And in his stead, we have a guest who has been with us before. She is the CEO of Oro Bruk and the first bullet rider of Arunachal Pradesh. She is a beacon of unwavering dedication and self-efficiency. With her unwavering determination, she surpasses expectations, showcasing resilience and proactiveness. Her portfolio speaks volumes, reflecting her independent spirit and meaningful contributions. Let us give a huge round of applause and welcome the Venerable Madam Tenzin Metoh. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. Our next guest hails from the land of blue hills and tranquil valleys of Arunachal Pradesh. His journey echoes resilience and determination, navigating life's highs and lows with grace. From the mountains to the plains, his story inspires us to reach for the peaks of our dreams.
With a thunderous round of applause, please welcome to the stage Rubaru Mr. India National Universe 2023 and Mr. Arunachal 2023 winner, our very own Tachang Phassang.
A huge round of applause, everyone. Thank you very much, sir.
Next up, we would like to welcome the incredibly talented Mr. Kaustoov Goswami, a NERIST alumnus having completed his MBA from the Center for Management Studies in the year 2010. He founded Urja in 2016 to make power solar affordable and accessible, driven by a core philosophy of social impact. Mr. Kaustoov leveraged his business acumen and technical knowledge to build his company into one of India's most promising clean tech startups. The pioneering company was recognized by IIM Kolkata as a Start 50 startup for its potential to create large-scale change. With a huge round of applause, please welcome Mr. Kaustoov Goswami.
Ladies and gentlemen, now that you have welcomed our exceptional guests, let us not forget the brains behind today's event and your hosts for Wartalap. Please join us with a thunderous round of applause in welcoming your first host, the Maverick, Dr. Nabab Taib. Now, with another thunderous round of applause, let us welcome the second speaker host for Vartalap, the illuminary, Dr. Raju Borthakur. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to draw your attention to the attire worn by our respectable hosts and also the attire worn by the organizing team of Vartalap, that they are adorned in a beautiful dress of red and black, inspired by the logo of Vartalap.
A huge round of applause for the esteemed panelists for Vartalap.
So ladies and gentlemen, let us sit back, relax, and let the Vartalap commence.
The stage is all yours, sir.
Thank you, Rasis. Thank you, Perina. So please.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Please switch off those microphones over there. Hi, good evening. How are you all doing? All good? Welcome to this session. So this session is all about stories. When you hear good stories, they inspire us. It helps us to get motivated. When you hear good stories, it sometimes forces us to think, sometimes to emulate. Storytelling is both an art and a craft rolled into one. And storytelling becomes incrementally interesting when these are laced with experiences. Yeah, is it okay? Yeah. So today, the galaxy of speakers we have, they have broken the proverbial glass ceiling. So what we are going to do here is, we'll hear from them about their journey, about the struggles they had, the ups and downs in their life, and then we'll try to create a kind of roadmap that our students may follow, or the audience may follow in the days to come. There will be, it will be a light-hearted conversation, okay? There's nothing academic about it at all. There may be a bit of humor, laces of humor.
Absolutely.
Bit of roasting as well.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, see, we are here with open hearts, open hands, and open minds. There is absolutely no script, okay? There's absolutely no script. And of course, the format is, we are not the ones to ask you the questions. You have the option to ask us questions as well. Now stop giving me that smile. You are our student. That sadistic smile that you're getting an opportunity to roast me. Fine, that's okay with me. But let the conversations begin. Over to you.
Metoh, madam, you should start by speaking about yourself. Maybe we'll take cues from there. About the biking thing, I'm very much interested. Could you start from there? You are the first registered bullet rider of the state. Tell us more about it.
Well, like I've already made my introduction earlier, that I am the first bullet rider of Arunachal, woman bullet rider, and I'm also working with the state government right now as state consultant for public health engineering and water supply department. And simultaneously, I'm also the CEO of Oro Bruk. It's a small startup on traditional attires that focuses on reviving traditional attire via incorporating contemporary designs.
Okay. Great.
Thank you, thank you.
She was Miss Arunachal as well, correct?
That is the relevant information. You should say that. That's the relevant information.
It's been so many years, so I tend to forget all the time. In fact, this was the first platform where I actually mentioned that I was the former Miss Arunachal.
But it's a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Likewise.
As an entrepreneur, as a pageant winner, and an amazingly gifted speaker.
Thank you, sir. It means a lot coming from you. Huh?
That's a left-handed one?
No.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
From the heart.
Thank you very much.
Madam, Oro Bruk. What are these two terms?
Oro Bruk, It's such a lovely question, and I'm so happy to answer that. Oro Bruk is very simple. Like it sounds very alien, but it only means mountain dragon.
What is
Ma-
it? Mountain driving.
Yes. In Monpa, Brook means dragon.
Okay.
And being a geography student in college, in my BA, so we had this, we would study about orographic rainfall. Oro means mountain.
I see it.
So I just wanted to make it sound a little different. So like that is easy, catchy. Plus it has the traditional touch also. So that's why we kept it. My mom is like every time kuch bhi hoga, so she's like she wants dragon included everywhere. So when I said I have this brand coming up, she's like dragon dalo, dragon dalo. And then I didn't want like dragon shop or dragon.
Oh, it's dragon. Okay, I thought driving.
But if I'm not wrong, you have an emotional connect to that name because it's your mom who started that. Is there something like that?
No, actually, I don't know how. I'm sure most of you know that we Buddhists we have this zodiac signs that we can be a rooster, we can be a dog or a cow, a snake, a pig. So that means my mom's zodiac sign is a dragon.
And what are you?
Sorry,
What are you? What sign is yours?
piglet.
Piglet.
This is the year of
Pyara wala.
this is the year of dragon, right? 2024.
Yes,
Yeah.
wooden dragon.
And,
Oro Bruk's here.
yeah. The Oro Bruk is here, and dragon. I think. Yeah, 2024 is the year of dragon for those who are born in 76 and that particular year. Is it something like
Yes,
that? Yes.
exactly.
And they are incredibly lucky that way.
Yeah, it's supposed to be there here.
Dragon.
Really?
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Don't roast it.
Oh, so Mr. Tachang, yes, again, we would like to start from you introducing yourself about. Yes, please go ahead and tell us about yourself to the audience, of course.
On me, okay?
Yeah, it's on.
I'm Tachang Phassang. I don't have a lot of things that I've accomplished yet, and I do hope to do so much more. But as of now, I have recently, the last year, I was recently judged as Miss Arunachal. And then later on, when I went to represent on the national stage, I was also, presented the title of Mr. National Universe, Mr. India National Universe, for which I will be representing our country during the month of June. And the competition is going to be held in Bangkok, Thailand. So I'm just preparing for that right now. And other than the pageantry life, I'm an art student. I've done my bachelor's and master's in history from Hindu College and from Ambedkar University, respectively. So I don't have a lot of idea about the sciences, and I think everyone's science here. So
No, we have management students as well. He's one of them. So we do have science, engineering, and management.
are there also art streams in
Not exactly arts,
Humanities
but
and social sciences.
yeah, sir belongs from humanities and social sciences.
I'm from the humanities, and there is a social sciences stream as well. We don't have history as such, but we have economics, English. Now we have started political science. There's a provision for sociology as well, management and psychology.
Okay.
So you'll find students who have learned your subjects, of course. Don't worry.
There are art students. Are there art students? Can art students please raise their hands?
You can't see the hand, it's quite
I don't
dark.
think
But you
there's
do
any art
have.
students here. So I don't have much knowledge about science. So anyway, this talk is not going to be academic, as I said. So
No, it's not. It's not.
there's nothing about academics here. And is this going to be an interaction between us?
Yeah,
and
only
you?
Q&A.
Absolutely.
So if there's any questions, anything you need to ask, you want to know about, you're curious about me, or what I did, or what I plan to do, and why I did what I did, then you can ask any questions you have. And I think during the course of this whole chat,
Yeah, after this, actually, what you have planned is now we will
You've
have
just
to-
started with
yes,
the
and then
introductions.
you will have an option to grill us as well,
okay.
and then
And then we'll
Then
open
it
it
will
to,
be open to public.
to the audience.
Yeah, and also something I get asked a lot, so I'll just say it right away about why I did it, the whole Mr. Arunachal, the pageant and everything. There's a lot of objectives people have when you do it. But I said it in the first interview. There was a first media interview when we were doing the auditions, and they were asking everyone why you're doing this. I said it that time, and my objective or goals have not changed yet. I always believe that, there's a saying, that popular saying, everyone knows, that be the change you want to see in this world. So I always believed, if you want to make change in any way, you cannot just, it's not easy. I mean, you can, but it's not easy if you are just some regular, normal person who does not maybe have a lot of influence in life. So to have a bigger impact in society, and especially for the younger generations, you have to really be someone of some value in society, people who look up to, people who, you're presented in places where people will look up to you. So, that was my first objective, really, why I started this whole pageantry thing, to be acknowledged by people, to be known, to, be popular, so that I can spread my values and spread my ideas, mostly younger generations. So, when we have a future, that our state, in the future, when all of us will be the ones who will be governing the state and running the state, it has to be way, way, way better than it is today.
Nice.
So that was my
yes.
very clear objective that I had from the start.
That
Thank
was
you.
profound. Nice, man. Very nice.
I'll just have a quick query if you don't mind. You have started your education at Hindu College, right? One of your seniors is the Chief Minister of the state now.
One of the alumni.
Yeah, he's the Chief Minister of the state. So what are your plans? You come from I think your dad is also into politics?
I'm from
Right.
political
So now,
background.
can we see you somewhere at that pedestal, 10 years down the line or 15 years down the line?
You can definitely.
Ah, that's
Definitely
very
like
honest.
that.
That's a very candid answer.
All the best for that.
All right.
So, Kaustoov, over to you. There's a microphone for you there.
तुम्हारा उधर है mic.
Yeah. Yeah, Kaustoov, please.
So is it because he's a former student?
Oh yes.
So it's like
To be very honest, friends, I did not invite him. I just called him up and I said that you have to come. And he was here this morning. And he was so gracious, very kind, very courteous that he came here when we were practicing. So he volunteered himself to be a volunteer. This setup, he has done it. So first half, he was the volunteer. Second half, he is the guest. And by evening, after 3 hours, he will be boarding a train back to Guwahati. But nevertheless, we are glad to have you here. Your introduction, please.
Thank you. Good evening, NERIST. First of all, it's a big day for me. I'm back to NERIST, the place from where I studied. And secondly, one evening, I'm sitting in between two, one Miss Arunachal, one is Mr. Arunachal.
Yeah, you're lucky indeed.
It's a great day for me. So
That's why we have separated our chairs. We don't fit into that particular
yeah, thank you so much, sir. So yeah, it's like a homecoming for me, and I'd like to thank everyone for inviting and giving me this opportunity. So I did my master's in environmental sciences from Teshma University. Then I did my MBA from here, and then I was I did 6 years of service in private companies in different places. But then I feel that I should start something of my own, and I came back to Guwahati and started Axom. As my background was into environmental sciences, so I wanted to do something in that particular domain and started Axom. It's a clean tech startup. So initial days were tough, but I was pretty much sure that I'm going to continue that thing. So slowly things are working out, I believe, as I'm sitting here.
Yeah, of course.
And recently I've also started a new venture, which is we will be producing mead, which is fermented. We are fermenting honey to convert it to honey wine. So
Wine.
yeah.
Okay.
So that is something is in progress. We already got the license and looking forward to that.
Well, all the best for that. But when you started your first company, how did the fund come? Did you bootstrap it or crowd fund, or you had some financier?
Initially, when I started, I started saving when I joined my first job.
The
Thanks to
incentive.
Sivu sir. Like I also got campus placement from NERIST only.
You go selected from there.
from
Okay,
there.
all right.
So
Here it is.
thank you. And big thanks to Sibu sir.
I was in the placement.
Yeah. She is. Okay, thank you, sir. Missed you in that. Yeah.
So you made the savings from the work that you did in corporate sector, and those savings were enough for you to start.
Initially, I thought it would be enough, but it's very difficult to calculate the cash flow when you start your business.
Okay.
But we started in June 2017, but by November we are running out of cash, so we are looking for new sources of fund, and then this Smart 50 came in. It's a what do you call? It's a contest organized by IMCIP, Kolkata. I am Kolkata. So in association with DST, Government of India. So there were 50 startups, out of which 40 are from India and 10 are from outside. So they need a product which is innovative, which can serve the purpose. And I tried to, at that point of time, I think first time I cracked or hacked a non-computer system. I tried to figure out what they exactly need. I presented my product in such a way, I wave a story around it, and finally got funding.
जुगाड़
या जुगाड़ पूरा जुगाड़
हम अच्छे हैं इसमें
आप बहुत अच्छे हैं
Ma'am, if I'm not wrong, your initial investment was 15 lakhs.
No. I wonder, you read it somewhere?
Yeah, I read it somewhere.
No.
You didn't tell me, so I have to read it somewhere.
Okay. So आपने ऐसे ही बोल रहे हो वो भी इतना बड़ा अमाउंट बोल दिया कि
No, there
My
was an article while doing research. I found that there's an article, probably that was Indian Express or something. They did a feature on Oro Bruk. And in fact, I read two articles. There is
Sir, please twist your mic. Just twist it a little bit. Yeah.
I'm not very comfortable with devices. My voice is otherwise very loud. So like I read two articles, and one which talks about your climate appropriate fabric that you were focusing upon, right?
Yes.
And also the blunders which happened. Okay, we'll come to that later. And the second one is about the whole journey, how you started this thing, and there the figure was mentioned as 15 lakhs. So I was wondering while I was reading through that, I can give you afterwards, that you have your education in geography, then now you are in PhD, you are also managing your company. So how do you manage? That is my first question. And what exactly triggered you to venture into this area? Because see, when you talk of Northeast, products from the Northeast, there's always a label of something that is exotic, right? Now that space is gradually getting cramped. There are too many exotic products. So how do you plan to sustain it in the long run?
So too many exotics won't be exotic anymore, right?
Exactly, it will be very common. So like, what is your brand USP and how you have positioned yourself in this somehow shrinking market of the products or handicrafts which are distinctive and particular to the Northeast? So it was not 15 lakhs, right?
No, actually, like last time, if some of you have seen my PPT presentation, so everyone thinks Monpa attire is maroon color, but like I said, it was never maroon, it was bluish green. So the thought was like, how about reviving that attire? And then उस वक्त तो मैंने आकर आप लोगों को photo तो दिखा दिया कि this is how it looks, but you have no idea like how difficult that picture. It was so hard to get that picture. It was after a lot of trolling and a lot of embarrassment. Like some people, like जब trolling ऐसा होता है तो there are supporters also. There are people who understand that she has this good intentions. She wants to do something for the society. So like some people came forward. They went to some very interior village. They helped that picture. So some NGOs, they got that picture, they helped me. Like, नहीं तो पहले ऐसा हो रहा था कि I just knew Monpa dress was just bluish green. So we don't know कैसा bluish green. Blue as in bright blue, dark blue, navy blue, what? Like, so ozal blue. So उसके वजह से we landed up making, because we had no reference, so we landed up making this bright blue color. And that's how the trolling had started. So that's why, so actually initially, so to make the dress, it was just amongst my mom's friends and all, we decided just 10-15 piece banayenge, just 10,000 rupees, sir. Not 15 lakh, 10,000. So 10,000 se हमने start किया.
So that particular news house, they deserve to be sued.
No, it makes me, it sounds good, right? 15 lakh, so let it be there. But since I'm here to inspire and motivate, like I would really not like to misguide you all, and so the initial amount was just 10,000. तो क्या हुआ कि इसके बाद में जब आया तो because of the clothing nobody wanted to buy it for me, and there was like so सारा piece ऐसे रह गया. I didn't know what to do. Then that's how the page came up and all that.
ऐसा तो नहीं हुआ कि मैंने एक जीरो ज़्यादा देख लिया.
फिर भी 15,000 हुआ ना सर?
नहीं,
हो सकता है सर.
1.5 लाख हुआ, 1.5 lakhs.
No, I'm very bad with numbers.
हो सकता है सर, क्योंकि all the articles that have been written so far, I always read it. So इतना massive mistake नहीं देखा, except for one article that made lot of mistakes, like पूरा and that was one article name. उन लोग ने क्या कि बहुत सारा questions मेरा दिमाग खा दिया था, like हर 2 minutes में phone करेगा, this that, and it went on for almost a week. And after that, when the article came out, सब कुछ उल्टा पुल्टा सारा wrong information था. So I don't know if you read one of those, but the rest has been comparatively very well researched and very well जिस तरह से बोला था वैसे ही लिखा था. So probably that.
One thing probably not many of you know, Mr. Phassang has donated his entire prize money to an old age home, if I'm not wrong. Then what is that?
In the microphone, please, Mr. Tachang. You said something really good.
Yeah.
I shared that whole thing on my social media. It wasn't a prize money. Actually, I think what did our painting competition, what they do is, because we are all mostly younger people, so they don't instantly give you any prize money, because then the whole image and the brand comes into question. Because you see, because with experience they have learned that younger people, when they get a good amount of money all at once, they will go, go parties, have fun. And what happens with that is when the other people see it, it harms the image of the title. So they don't give it instantly. It's always given on the end. When you finish up your reign, when the next person is chosen as Miss Arunachal, that's when we will be given any reward for that.
Okay.
That money which I received was actually for Miss India, and that was given by my whole society. They're always, all our clans, they have societies, like they built a certain amount of, about 6-7 people come together and they started this whole society, and they try to encourage good achievements within the clan. Suppose I'm from the Phassang clan, so the Phassang society it's called. So what they did is all of them came together and they said that we contribute. We should contribute and reward it for the achievement, because it's always helpful when something good done by someone is rewarded. That's how most of us get encouraged to do better things.
And you gave it to
So what I did with that was I contacted it's not really an old age home. It's a home for anyone. It's a home for anyone who does not have a home.
Homeless.
Young, maybe you have a mental disorder, physical disorder, or any kind of sicknesses. So they take you in, and I think they fulfill your basic needs. Even kids, orphans, could be anyone. So I contacted them, asked them, I have this much amount, and if you could tell me what your needs are, and I could maybe try to fulfill all of that. And they said, we need these things, we are short of these things. So I just, ended up spending my whole entire amount on that.
Look at his heart.
So that's how the whole thing went.
Do you drink coffee?
Yeah, I do drink coffee.
Because I asked you because I apparently heard your conversation with in certain podcast, where you told that you don't drink alcohol, you don't smoke, you have never done that. In fact, that is fine. But then you don't even take soft drink, correct? You were discouraging people to take soft drink and you were advocating that. So I asked you, is coffee good enough? Because this is what we're serving.
Coffee is good, especially black coffee. Yeah.
चलेगा नहीं चलेगा
तो आप उस पे थोड़ा और बोलिए ना to our students, like why should know? Please go ahead.
Yeah. From a very young age, actually, I always looked at people who, people who practice such things. Like, I saw people drinking and smoking, and then I used to always think to myself, since it's in TV ads, it's even these days it's even on those cigarette packets, and everywhere it's always written that it's injurious to your health and it's not good for you, and it doesn't help you in any way. And I always wondered why people still do it. I mean, there's so many things people encourage you to do, like exercise more, eat more fruits, eat healthy things, and people don't do that a lot. I mean, the weird thing is when we're discouraged to do something, when we're prohibited to do something, when someone says don't do it, that's when people want to do it. And then when someone, when we're told that you should do this, that's when no one wants to do it. And it's been a very amusing thing to me since I was a kid. But that's just, I think, some story to share. Mainly it's because ever since growing up, I always believed that I would never want, no matter what happens, no matter what the situation is, I wouldn't want to hurt myself in any way.
That's wonderful.
Because, you see, this whole world in every way is always going to try to hurt you. And at least there should be this one person, that should be yourself, that you're always confident about, that will never hurt you.
Oh, that's
So
profound.
just, keep that one person alive, that is yourself, who'll never hurt you. Because the whole world will always try to hurt you. I mean, every time you show your emotions too loud, maybe 3-4% of people will care, but the majority of people will just try to take advantage of it. So, never be on their side, always be on your own side, and never try to hurt yourself in any way possible. Even if it's the littlest of things, and people tell you that, it's not that bad, or it's just for fun, and how else are you going to have fun in life? I'm telling you, there are so many million other ways to have fun in life. Trekking, jogging, training, playing games, and even reading books. Some people enjoy it a lot. Myself personally, not too much. But there are things that you can do. There are so many things that you could do with your time and with your energy than, intoxicating yourself.
How often are you into singing? You are an amazingly good singer.
I'm not an amazingly good singer.
You're an amazingly good singer, so how often you are into singing? You sing very well, by the way.
I don't sing really well, sure. Just being too sweet, but I've got some very bad negative reviews on Instagram about my singing. A lot of people have told me, just stick to what you're doing, that's good enough. But, yeah, I try to annoy people from time to time, just post videos of me singing, and they get annoyed, but they still love me, so that's it.
It's an annoying kind of love, right? Or love in an annoying way.
Like he said, जो नहीं करने के लिए बोलता वही करने का मन
That's what exactly he said. That's being very pragmatic.
You had a special Valentine.
Yes.
Yes?
Sir, कहाँ का research करके आए?
She agreed. She agreed to it. Okay. We would like to.
See, I didn't do any research. Sir ने काम किया है, पता चल गया. चलिए.
Now, don't get confused with your idea of Valentine. It's something very special, very different, very noble actually. Please, ma'am.
Yes, please. What is that?
Well, just like Tachang said, like the idea of fun, our idea of fun needs to change. Idea of fun, beyond the, especially girls, beyond the lipsticks and the makeups and beyond partying. If you're saying that is freedom and that is enjoyment, we really need to have a relook in our approach. There are so many other ways, better ways. Now we have so much of options. Same thing. Valentine's also, I just thought, why does it always have to be, a guy and a girl, or, the parents thing is also there. Or Valentine, right? So I thought,
Galentine.
yeah, girls hanging.
Okay.
Yeah, with girlfriends. It's good. But then,
That's a new word.
really,
Oh yeah.
your students would know
No,
definitely.
they're the Gen Z. We are not.
So now it isn't new anymore. You'll not forget ever now.
I'll hold on. Especially coming in from you.
So, Valentine's, I thought, why go and visit these kids, autistic kids.
Autistic
You all
kids,
know
yeah.
about
That is
them.
K blooming.
Yes, K blooming, and it's what is very interesting about K blooming is that it's not only for autistic kids; it's for all kinds of kids. It's inclusive school. It's one of the first inclusive schools where you have the normal, average, everyday kids along with. So, unka parents bhi, it's so impressive, sir. When I spoke to them, then the parents are like, they want their children to grow up being more sensible, more sensitive towards other children, differently able children, and पढ़ते we keep reading about them, but to see them in life is just different. I cannot explain, and somehow I have this friend whose son is also autistic, so I know the stress that it takes, the toll it takes on people. Most of them, they say, my friends and all, they say this. Luckily, the child was born in our family where we can afford their treatment, because इतना ज़्यादा it's a very complicated. बच्चे को कभी ना वो कुछ dental issue हो जाता है, they take the child all the way to Delhi or Gurgaon, because this children किसी के साथ नहीं, कोई भी डॉक्टर के पास चले जाए ऐसा नहीं होता है, they have difficulty connecting. So I just, how do I say, you all must go and visit, and I'm sure you all do a lot of social work and donations.
Madam,
if you do, please do not forget K blooming. I mean,
Madam, did you meet the owner of that school? Did you meet the owner of the school?
yes. I think she was here.
Yes, she was here last year as one of the CC Talk speaker.
Who?
Yeah.
Madam 𝐴𝐺𝐵 Basa.
Okay.
She has a very,
No,
deep
last year
emotional
she-
story.
I
Yes.
think that.
Yeah, okay, please carry on, ma'am.
So her is autistic. So she didn't sit back and just think and grieve and cry. She thought, why not open a school? And how amazing can that be? It's
That too during COVID times she started actually. I know her story.
Yeah.
Inside out, I know her story, I think.
Another thing is that people have so much of misconception, or maybe I think people are so busy in their own life, they don't pause and think about such people. Winning Miss Arunachal, actually a lot of people don't know, is that I won because of somebody who is bipolar, schizophrenic, and he has tons and tons of so many illness. वो मैं जब भी मिलने जाती हूँ वो इतना दवाई खाता है, इतना, and people say ना कभी-कभी ज़्यादा दवाई नहीं खाना है, but this guy has been literally surviving on medicines, and he's the reason I won Miss Arunachal. And it's sometimes I feel कभी Shristi का होता है तो that guy needs to be called. I mean, he has the world of problems. I have this small problem and I start crying and I start complaining and I go, and it's like this guy is so positive. He doesn't even break down, and he's like, किसी को complain करना चाहिए तो उसे करना चाहिए. But then I feel like such an insignificant person. So Miss Arunachal time में भी बहुत सारा, there were a lot of issues, this, that, and I packed my bags and I was like, नहीं होगा मेरे से, मैं जा रही हूँ वापस. So he was like, stay. And I got through because of him. So we need to understand, अगर वो पागल है, a lot of people, they don't understand. Sometimes he has seizures, and sometimes he has some mental breakdown, and he runs in my colony like that, and they are like, पागल देखो ऐसे. अगर वो पागल है तो मैं कैसे जीती? I mean, it's such a big topic. How do I say?
No, I feel like the whole concept of mental health, if we broaden it, there's always a kind of, in our society, stigma is attached to that.
Yes.
One of the reasons is probably, I think, is that we have not been taught how to explain our problems. We are more into synonymizing our problems. Like, I don't know, for example, ask बच्चों को even a single breakup, they will say, I am depressed. Whereas, no, seriously, depression has a very different kind of meaning attached.
Depression is clinical, sir. It's
Absolutely.
biological.
It's symptomatic of something else. On the other hand, that's what I said. We do not know how to make a distinction between when I'm happy, whether I'm sad, whether I'm ecstatic, whether I'm somewhat down. So we synonymize everything. Secondly, whenever I say that I need to take counseling from someone, there are always those questioning glances.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
So somehow, like, I feel that in order to solve a problem, first of all, we have to acknowledge that a problem exists.
That's so true, sir. I completely
Like, I have experienced it personally. Like, I went through a phase of clinical depression.
Clinical.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks to Medanta Hospital, I'm not promoting that brand. Thanks to Medanta Hospital, I've been able to sit here today. My colleagues at this institution said that the understanding, कान के नीचे एक थप्पड़ मारो तुम्हारा सारा निकल जाएगा.
Really?
Oh yes, ma'am. And that was so. I don't know whether I should be using this word or not. Some of my colleagues used this particular language, and as a result, it was so debilitating for me. Not only for me, for my family as well. So I was, after every 2 weeks, I was visiting Delhi and flying to Delhi and coming back to Guwahati and all. So finally I recovered. And that taught me one thing, that not everybody in your life is important. We have to be very, very careful about who we choose to be with people, and who are those people. Like, opening your hearts and your home should be very, very restricted. Okay. Coming to positivity. Both of you are CEOs of your respective startups.
They are not where. Still.
They are, I said. Both of you are CEOs.
Alright, right.
Microphone issue.
My bad.
I mean, you have to start with that.
Okay.
Where we are like,
And CEOs in startups are not only chief executive officers, you are rather like chief everything officers. Isn't it? You guys are. So now how do you handle stress? You are leaders in your own right. You have created a path of your own. You have inspired too many people to follow that path. In fact, the students who are watching, they are more interested to know that, because stress is one thing that we cannot escape in our everyday life, and that is applicable to you as well. Stress is one thing that we cannot escape from our life. कभी-कभी ऐसा होता है कि stress क्यों नहीं है बोल के एक stress होता है. It happens at times, right?
सर और क्या है ना, इसमें हम लोग हैबिचुएटेड हो गए सर कि स्ट्रेस नहीं होता है ना अभी, देन वी फील वेरी अनकंफर्टेबल. कुछ तो गलत होगा. लिटरली होता है. इनिशियली वी थॉट लाइक कि जब मैं जॉब पे था तब उतना नहीं था. लैपटॉप बंद किया, घर आया, उसका फोन भी आता, मैं नहीं उठाता, चलता है. पर अभी नहीं होता. अभी फिर ये आना बंद हो जाएगा. सो इसीलिए अभी
इसको फिर से कीजिए, क्या बना बंद हो जाएगा?
No, how do you strike the balance? This is for all three of you.
Yeah, so then like
Of course, the nature of stress will be different because of the lines of work.
Right,
Okay, he has a different line altogether. You, both of you are roughly on the, you belong to the same area. And you guys have to handle a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
He has to handle adulation and love and trolls and whatnot.
Popularity.
So, popularity. So, how do you guys handle this? How many of you are overthinkers, by the way?
I an overthinker.
How? That makes 4 of us.
I am not.
Oh, you are not.
I am chill out.
The beauty of overthinking, friends, is that you know about the situation that may or may not come, but you are mentally prepared to handle that.
and you leave it twice.
Huh, you did it twice. So that's a deja vu.
Yeah.
Chalo bhai, shuru.
Cost to continue, like you were saying.
So मैं क्या करता हूँ ना कि अभी मैं धीरे-धीरे slowly I'm taking this thing out कि नहीं होता नहीं होने दो. मतलब कुछ मतलब एक हमेशा एक टारगेट रहता है. सो वो टारगेट नहीं होता है, मीट नहीं होता है. देन अभी मैं मुझे रियलाइज होता है कि बाद में हो जाएगा. इतना हड़ी में जाके कुछ नहीं फायदा है. पर मन नहीं मानता, फिर भी स्ट्रेस आता है. एंड प्रॉब्लम इज दैट ना कि जब मैं थोड़ा पूरा कोशिश करता हूँ, देन जो मेरे फेलो मतलब जो काम कर रहे हैं मेरे साथ ना, तो वो ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस में आ जाते हैं. इसको हो क्या रहा है? क्योंकि कुछ दिनों पहले तक मतलब आई वाज कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट. मैं पुश करता था. धीरे-धीरे मुझे रियलाइज हुआ कि आई एम हार्मिंग माई सेल्फ, माई कंपनी एंड एवरीवन्स लाइफ. आई एम स्क्रूइंग एवरीवन लाइफ. आई नो दैट. तो वो गलत है. तो धीरे-धीरे आई एम ट्राइंग लाइक क्या बोलते हैं उसको,
Mindful.
सेल्फ सेल्फ अवेयरनेस बोल लीजिए. थोड़ा सा मैं कंट्रोल करता हूँ खुद को अभी, पर टाइमिंग पर नहीं होता है. पर दिखाता हूँ कि मैं करता हूँ.
almost like Sir only, and like I said, the remote, I've always been saying, the remote is in our hand. We set the parameters so high sometimes, like when we are not able to meet, forget about society's expectation, parents' expectation, जो अपने आप से जो expectations है, when we are not able to meet, then I think that's worse. I mean, that depression is of different kind. But then again, we forget that the remote is in our hand. हमने सोचा 24 is the year, नहीं हुआ तो 25 कर लो, 25 नहीं हुआ तो 26. You can lower the bar, you can set the bar higher. It's all in your hands. And like Sir said, we really need to choose the friends we hang out with very carefully, because I agree to this. Pehle, when we were in school or college, parents would be like, isse dosti mat karo, usse dosti mat karo. And that used to really annoy us. And we used to think like, they're so judgmental. Aadmi ko is tarah se karna. But then, over the years, it becomes pretty clear why they say what they say. Like, there'll come a time in your life, like especially during stressful times, no matter how much we are positive, एक time आता है where you just can't think straight, like literally zone out हो जाता है, blank हो जाता है. That's when your friends, the type of people you hang out with, the type of guidance they give, that really, really matters. So you really need to be friends with the right kind of people. They have a big hand in deciding your destiny.
Agreed. What is your strategy?
Okay. Firstly, I would just highlight and point out that whatever they may be stressed out by and the level of stress they feel and the degree and intensity that they feel it, I'll nowhere feel it in any way close to theirs. Because, if you don't mind, both of them are older than me, way, way older than me. And, they have their own lives, they live their own lives, they have, do you have a family here? Okay. They have their own families, and, they're supporting other lives. There's a big difference when someone is supporting your life and when you're supporting someone else's life. Because then the responsibility falls on you. So, even if he wants to be stressed at home, he cannot be stressed at home. Because then his wife will be stressed, his children will be stressed. Stress is a communicable disease.
It's contagious.
Yeah, it's contagious. It's gonna harm the next person. Even though his child will not have anything to do with it, it will still affect him, and that is really bad. But in my case, I'm the one who's being supported. I mean, my family is still well and good, and they still support me. So my stress is no way close to theirs, but however, I still have that a little bit. And it will be very similar to the stress most of this audiences feel. It's got to do with friendship. It's got to do with, relationships. Thankfully, I don't have a lot of that. But yeah,
are you advertising that?
I'm just making it known.
So you said you were single. Okay, continue. Alright, please.
Yeah, I'm what people want me to be.
Okay.
Anyway, the thing is, when I'm stressed out, when I feel that something is burdening me or something is affecting my emotional stability, the main, should I say, like a mantra that I keep, repeating and telling myself is stress is reality. That's what I keep telling myself. Because if you're always happy, if you're always having a good life, if you're never sad, if you're never feeling low, then it's delusion, basically. No real life will never have stress. That's reality. Just accept it and just be like, okay, fine, this is real. Pain is also real. Stress is real. So sometimes you're going to feel bad, sometimes you're going to feel like the whole world is against you. And you're going to feel like there's nothing good going on in your life. But that is reality. I mean, if you don't have the lows, you will never have the highs. That's how it is. Because to climb the hill, you need to see a hill. If all you see is plain and flats and all you see is flowers and gardens, that's just fantasy and it's never going to happen to any one of you. I'm very sorry to say that, but none of you will have a very happy life. Always. I mean,
So that's the balance.
that's the balance, that's reality. So just accept it, that stress is reality, sadness, depression, anything. whatever you go through, I don't think a lot of people go through depression. I haven't gone through depression. I would never say that I'm depressed. I don't care how sad I am. I don't care how long the period is for which I am sad. I'll never say I'm depressed because I feel like you can always choose to be happy. That's it.
That's a wonderful, wonderful.
And you are very wise for your age. Do you mind revealing your age here? You say they are way alert.
I hear that a lot.
वो पोर्शन को एडिट कर देते हैं ना, that can be cropped out and like you know.
मैम परसों आपने बोला था आपके थर्ड स्लाइड में था समथिंग अबाउट सेल्फ लव. हाउ डू प्रैक्टिस दैट? क्योंकि हम लोग these days, again, I'm slightly critical about this whole thing. This self love, it has on the mental health, it has become a kind of market, right? There are a whole lot of apps. Now these apps say that you avoid screens, okay? You rather be in touch with people in flesh and blood rather than connecting on screen. As a result of which we are gradually losing that art of what we call as conversational competence. We don't know how to converse these days. We are more comfortable using our thumbs than our mouth. Now, it says that you should not be too addicted to your screen, but then the apps say that you install our app and read from the screen. So it's a kind of paradox that we have. So how to practice self-love?
Those are very subjective. I cannot say, sir, this is the right way to go about it.
No, there cannot be one size fits all.
So, it's a very interesting question, sir. Because when we say self-love, then some people na self-love में इतना ज़्यादा कर देते हैं, and then they forget their studies and they party night and day, and then they go into very casual relationships, no strings attached, and you know just watching out for your own happiness. I don't think so. That is self-love. I mean, there are so many other ways, and self-love में like you know constructive criticism, उसको भी we should be able to include it, and then not get depressed again. Like you know किसी ने कुछ बोल दिया which hurts you, and like Tachang को किसी ने बोला कि you cannot sing, just stick to modeling. So he accepted it and he's okay, and I think he's still singing, right? So that can be self-love also.
That's positive Ziddipana.
Yes. So you'll have to figure out, and in the quest to find that self-love, you may make a lot of mistakes back then also, but somewhere I think your conscience will tell you, like, it will hit you somewhere कि नहीं यार self-love में ये तो कुछ उल्टा. It's not supposed to be that way. But that the inner voice, we need to focus on that also.
Right. You are being too silent, man.
No, I'm just giving space for everybody.
Yeah, you can ask him. Yes, of course. Okay.
How do you feel?
How like
How do you feel? पहले हम लोग उस साइड में थे. Now आप इस साइड में हो.
You guys are batchmates or what? Yeah.
no
Hostel
mates.
Alright. Okay.
How do I feel? First of all, I was giving space for everyone to speak. So maybe I'll take pointers from whatever you spoke and I'll give my summary of it. Whatever Mr. Tachang said, I'm really meaning it. Like I think you are too wise for your age. You know a lot of stuff. The way you think is profoundly, intellectual, and I really appreciate that. I got to learn a lot from you. Having said that, when we were discussing depression and all, and sadness part and all, I believe everyone on earth, if you're a human being, you'll have problems. The point I want to make here is that your problems need not become your stress. That is definitely within our control. Drawing parallel to what you said, the remote control. Problems will come, but how you take it in your mind is absolutely in your control. Who else has the control? So it's all in your mind. So that way, at least I tackle my issues. I never say I never have problems, but I say I'm stress free, and it's a reality. Okay, like you ask me question, then maybe I'll.
ये पूछा है question तुमको कि
नहीं, how do you feel बोला तो मैं बोल दिया ये सब.
How do you feel on this side of the whole thing?
I feel great. First of all, I am thankful to the three of you to have accepted our invitation to have come to NERIST. Yeah, I have a question for Tachang actually. While he was driving, he didn't know where NERIST was, and I was like, oh come on man, You are in Arunachal, you don't know where NERIST was. And so, like,
I didn't know exactly where NERIST was, but I had a very good idea that it was in New Delhi, obviously.
Not everyone has an interesting stories about this, right?
No,
True,
I mean,
true.
this,
Huh. He didn't get lucky like me. And plus, he's a humanities student, sir. आपको तो इतना leeway देना पड़ेगा.
I just, made a conclusion. Perhaps he didn't study in Arunachal during his school days. Am I right?
I did not study here.
That's what. Otherwise, everyone would know
I
NERIST.
studied mostly in Assam.
Assam, where? Where exactly?
Balipur.
Assam Valley School.
Assam Valley, yeah,
Assam Valley
Assam
School.
Valley School.
Okay, okay. And then after that, he went to Delhi University.
Delhi.
Right.
And then I was in Delhi for about 7 years.
7 years.
Then I came back during the Corona time.
The COVID time.
Then I did.
You are too young, man. Or does that mean that we have become too old?
You have become too old.
Great, Tachang. Well done, well done.
Someone
And
else
even
is
last time when you were asking about Galentine,
What?
you were asking about Galentine. You
Galent-
said, yeah, Galentine,
Galentine.
yeah, and you said it was a new word. Yeah, I think it was you that was old, not the word that was new.
Hashtag moe moe.
I'm loving it.
Sir, like,
Master, take second. Masters in what? Environmental science, management, corporate sector. Then you did something amazing to address the problem of elephant-human conflict, right?
Yes, even
Yeah,
I
you've
know
done that
that's
something.
amazing. Yes.
That's amazing. Can you tell us something about that? That's through your Dream Hive and Indilab, right? And you wrote an article somewhere. Was it on LinkedIn or something? Yeah, LinkedIn. I read that. So can you tell us something about it?
So basically, things started when we were working with the fringe community in the Manas National Park.
Manas National Park. okay.
Yeah, so there are communities who are collecting like non-timber forest products from the forest areas. So mostly they are collecting honey. That particular area is very much like it's in a conflict zone, and human-elephant conflict. They used to mostly like 90 to 97 90 to 97 people used to kill by elephant every year. So then we tried to find out a solution for that, and we figured out what we call as bee fence.
Bee fence.
Yeah. So what we did is that
what is that again?
bee fence.
Bee
A
fence.
bee as a honeybee.
Appeared. I was telling you about honey, right?
So what we did is that like we put some posts in between. We hang beehives with live bees, and they are just the fringe area of Manas National Park. So bees they get ample amount of food there, like nectars and everything is there. Production is very good. Now elephants by default they are very afraid of bees. Even if they heard the sound of it, no, they don't cross that particular area. So we could reduce that human-elephant conflict by 60% for that year.
Great.
And then we started producing honey as well. And from there, like we start selling honey.
And after Indilab, you have started Urja.
No, 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴 was the first company that I started. So while working in the fringe area, like we are installing solar there. So we saw this problem happening in that area. So we try to figure out a solution to it.
Okay.
So we have hit the 1 hour mark. So,
No, abhi baki hai.
Baki, okay.
So, Kaustoov, the first thought when you landed at NERIST this morning.
It's like, wow, what a change.
What a change! Wow, that deserves to be applauded. Okay. Any memory that comes to your mind? Good, bad, ugly.
अरे मत पूछिए बहुत निकल जाएगा मैं भी इनका दोस्त हूँ
मुझे भी पता है इसलिए तो मैं पूछ रहा हूँ.
Yeah, it was like
Do you
hostel
want to
days.
see those landmarks?
I heard
The
those
memories were made.
those landmarks haven't changed.
Yeah, landmarks have changed. Now
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have
So we
switched
need
over
to-
this campus. I have shown you this.
Yeah. So you need to follow your car for that matter. I
Yeah,
know.
right. Okay. Yeah.
But काफी सारे इधर hostel days.
Kaustoov Goswami was one student and their batch was, he was one student to rag a teacher. Oh yes, inside a classroom.
Was it
It's
you,
not
sir?
only me. I have a prior partner as well.
कौन था कौन
Hey,
थी
Only
Only
you and
one.
I have to live here.
Okay.
You'll be leaving tonight, but you and I have to stay here. Okay.
तचांग को कैसा लगा नेरिस्ट आके? हार्डली 1 मिनट का ड्राइव किया. ये तो पहले देख के बोला lot of change. What do you have to say about NERIST? Whatever you've seen.
I always used to hear about it a lot. I heard ever since growing up. I mean, when I left sciences as something that I would ever do, but my parents always talked about science. I mean, NERIST being like the best and most. I think it is the best institute for sciences in Arunachal. Right?
It's mostly technology actually.
So if you get into NERIST, I think 80% of your problems are solved. Like, that's what the idea was before.
अच्छा market है देखिए.
Yeah, because you clear the exams for NERIST, obviously automatically, like IIT entrances, they will obviously automatically have a new set of respect for you. They think you find this book really smart. They'll believe it. It's a what should I say? It's a qualification when you get into NERIST. So that's what I always used to hear. But I've seen the gate a lot of times, but I've never entered because I felt too stupid to enter NERIST. Also in school, some students, they would call our students dull people, I think. That's what we were called in school. They always said that, all the smart people this side, people from commerce can just stay there. Because it's really difficult. Sciences has always been very difficult for me, especially maths. So I
It's
never.
been reversed.
Now,
The focus is more on humanities because science and technology have become too, what should I say, like devoid of emotions, and we need emotions in life. So now we are back to
but
we need emotions in life.
I think this institute is really good. First impression.
Yeah, our students are very good actually.
I mean, I've never
They're
met.
very innovative. Let me tell you.
I've never met anyone though from NERIST. Never. I mean,
Our students are so innovative, let me tell you. And their innovation and creativity is usually reflected in their exams. You ask them one question on the question paper. He is shamelessly laughing now. He has also done the same thing. You need your intelligence to understand what the answer is all about. Because there is a sense of space and time and every kind of disconnect between the questions and the answers. So what you need is you need patience.
What did I miss?
You need to know the perspective, why they have answered, what they have answered, provided there is an answer. Okay. One last question, a serious question, because both of you are brand makers. If we have to market this, if we have to make it as a kind of visible and viable brand, Shristi Talks, what should be our strategy?
Yes, please. Guide us through.
The brand makers. And he is a walking brand. So please. No, I'm not joking actually. His reach is more than what you and I combined, right?
Oh, come on.
Please
हमारा तो
start-
कुछ है ही नहीं,
start
sir.
from you. How can you
हम तो गरीब हैं इस
market
मामले
this
में.
as a brand? See, TED is different. TEDx are different. Joe's talks are different. They already have a kind of clientele, right? And this is one question that I have reserved for you for tomorrow as well, because you are one of the most prominent influencers with us today. So, like, how do we position this as a viable brand, this Shristi Talks? Because this will give us visibility as well. And for our rankings, visibility is important.
so for me, can I start? Yeah, I have, I think, one very good suggestion.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I think you should stay out of it.
Oh my god. This is hardcore trolling, man. That's well done again.
That's a good one.
Brilliant, brilliant.
So,
If
I'm
I
sorry.
have to manage this, so what I have seen is that this is particularly a campus-oriented discussion, so which can be focused in that way, and you can take it to different campuses, so that you cater to the same kind of audience, and keeping the format same. You can take it to other places, other institutes as well.
Like, we need permission for that. Why would other institutes allow us to?
No, obviously they will have their own, but there are many institutes which don't have this kind of interaction. And slowly, like even you can do it in Arunachal itself. You can take it to other parts Arunachal, and you'll find different people engaging with the program. As she said, there's someone from the place where you're supposed to invite him or her. So once you go out of NERIST, I think your reach will increase. Because digitally you can reach to many people, but physical reach is, I believe, like if I want to market it, I will take it physically to other places.
Metoh?
The location really matters because if you're making this as a the next TEDx or even bigger, it has to be somewhere in a very prime area, or it has to be in 𝘚𝑩𝑗𝑛𝐺 with a lot more population, and like calling someone here all the way from 𝘚𝑩𝑗𝑛𝐺 बहुत दूर हो जाता है नेरिस्ट में, है ना? तो वो थोड़ा सा, and then since it's a campus, it's a faculty, so थोड़ा सा वो hesitation होता है to be able to, like, would we have access, would we be welcome there, वो एक feeling भी आता है. But if this is hosted in DK Convention Hall and we know कि it's for public, तो वो जाएंगे ज़रूर. So
Noted.
This is one good suggestion.
yes, and like I said, but I think you all are already halfway there. The way everything, the setup, and छोटी details.
Yeah, मेरा लाल पेन है. Yeah. Socks भी लाल पेन है. We have taken care of many types of details.
ये तो एकदम नैनो लेवल में चला गया है. लेकिन बहुत अच्छा है. So these things, the presentation, the social media, I mean, the social media handles, you have to have a completely different team to manage the social media set, and then use of influencers like Tachang के through से, maiden के through से,
आपके through
like
से?
yeah, influencers तो I mean वही ज़माना है, and then you have to, when you invite, see, आप जब Shristi talks रखते हैं, I'm sure it's not just to call just achievers who are already doing too much. You all also want to promote somebody who's just coming up, and I mean, you must be having like जिसको already इतना platform मिला है, so why again, right? So someone who's coming up, but then I think you have to mix a blend of both. The one who's already achieved a lot, very hyped in the media, ताकि when she comes or he comes, Shristi gets the coverage. And along with it, the person who's just coming up and building, and it's the next person to watch out for is also gets the coverage. So you'll have to mix and match, and then
The spectrum should be wide.
Exactly, all kinds. You have to call designers to models to academicians to all kinds of people.
So should we open this up for Q&A now?
I think we should, yeah, because we just overshot our, we thought we would speak for 1 hour, but then we overshot it.
So the floor is open for questions and observations to our panelists. Can you have the lights, please?
To the audience, please. So,
Lights in the hall, please. Right.
yes.
So
Questions?
nice to see you all. यहाँ से ऊपर ना कुछ दिखाई नहीं देता when the lights off. एकदम दिखाई देता है. So we didn't even know how many of you
He
were
has
there.
raised his hand.
One mic.
Marcus.
Just 3 microphones, so we'll hear it.
Okay, he's giving you that.
By the way, before RC speaks, I would like to just have 2 minutes. We had TEDx here previously. We have organized TEDx 3 times, but then TED is a company owning states, and so we have to adhere to the guidelines they give us, and we have to renew our license all the time that we want to organize TED. So this application of license and absolutely adhering to the guidelines is kind of at times it's not freewheeling for us. So that's how this Shristi Talks was conceived. That why not we start our own, TEDx kind of talk show, and that's how Shristi Talk was born, and we are here today. Yes, please clap. We started very humbly. In the first edition, we had only 3 speakers. Last edition, we had 4 speakers. And this time, we have, a gallery of 10 speakers. And as Metoh Madam said, we have, from the fashion world, Soviet industry, we have Tachang Phassang. Then we have scientist Chandrayaan 3 team member, one of our alumni. He's an alumnus of NERIST. We have Pandit Paul sir. We have entrepreneur Kaustoov Goswami. We have somebody who has too many feathers under her cap, Tenzin Metoh. Likewise, we have Instagram influencer Ashu Jain sitting right there. And we have an Instagram influencer agency is 57 years old. When you see her tomorrow, you will feel old, in front of her. I'm just mark my words. And then we have Bipasa Rangkhal, the first air traffic controller of Tripura. Vijay Nair, Lieutenant Commander and naval veteran, will be coming tomorrow as well. And then, the first day we covered, we had a jewelry designer, Pallavi Hazarika, and our very own, very smart, maverick journalist Ranju Dodong was here. So you see, we managed to pull off these many, the spectrum again, I say, is so big and large for CC Talks. And once again, I at least thank 3 of you who are present here, 2 of you sitting down there. Welcome again, and thank you very much for making CC Talk the thing that you want. Ashish, please, your question.
Thank you very much, respected guest. The conversation that you guys had was really stimulating for all of us. My question is to the 3 of you. The 3 of you are titans of your own field, and most of my friends and everyone here would agree to that. My question is a 2-part question. The first part being, what impact or what role does empathy and kindness play in your professional lives? And the second question is that, do we need to have empathy and kindness to be successful? Thank you very much, sir.
So I think, empathy plays a very big role, not only in business, not only to be successful, for your inner peace as well. And when you're in peace, then you can perform the best. So I think, no matter if you are building a brand, or you want to making a sales speech, you need to understand the other side mentality, mindset, whatever, like what they need. Once you grab that, once you get that, and then you formulate through your presentation or through your product or your service, then you can deliver the best, and you get the best result out of it. So empathy, I believe, is the most important thing if you're starting a new entity or business or whatever.
Empathy and kindness. As I'm someone who is really focused on social change, so empathy and kindness are, you can say, like my main game. Like that's what I want to do most and spread most. The thing that I've always believed is things like negative things like hatred and anger. These things spread quickly, but they also disappear fast.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people, you can generate hatred really quickly. Say, okay, fine, this person has not done this for us, and that person has not done this for us, so all of us, let's go and let's really make a scene and rally up against him or her. But when you spread things like kindness and empathy, it stays for a very longer time. Although it will spread gradually, it's very difficult to change someone else for the better. It's always easier to change someone else for worse. So things like kindness and empathy in my field of work is really important. However, we should always understand there's a very clear difference between being foolish and believing people and trusting too easily and being kind. Kindness is when you have a positive outlook at things and when you want to help someone else. But when someone's taking advantage of you, it's very clear that you're not being kind, you're just being foolish. So you should always take care of that. And what you said, that is being kindness and being, empathetic is a good for competitiveness, to be successful. I think it's always good to be kind and empathetic. However, you should never be foolish, because that's always going to harm you. But if you're going to be kind, then you will always meet people in works in your life, in your career. If you're kind to them, they will always remember you and always support you throughout your whole career and always be there for you. However, if you're always just competing and always just trying to put someone else down, then at the end of the day, even if you're at the top, you'll be alone. So no one wants that. Thank you.
Well, I'm working, so I have a lot of seniors in the department who are my boss. Or so क्या होता है कि some are really good, some make our life hell, and simple things. So since we are under them, like अरे वो ऐसे कर देने से क्या होना था? Like he could have done this. Since we are the victim, we have a lot of ideas of what all they could have done for us. So फिर उस वक्त मुझे ऐसा लगता है अरे I am CEO of Oro Bruk. I have employees under me, so even they must be having the same issues with me also. Then I realized like even I can make somebody's life easy or I can make somebody's life hell. So I try to put these kind of I try to compare and I try to make it easier. Like for instance, house में कोई housemaid है, so like sometimes बहुत annoying होता है. They do some very annoying things, but then I feel like so I may not be my boss and I may never reach his position where he is today. But for this lady in my house who's a house help, I am her boss. So I can make her life easy or not, and probably her life is not going to have a massive. वो ज़्यादा progress करने वाली नहीं है. She's going to struggle and like she'll be doing small jobs all her life. So I try to make it easy. Same thing with Oro Bruk also. I try to connect with my customers, empathy and kindness. कभी-कभी क्या होता है ना? The issue with us is that we give people what we want and we don't give them what they want, and that is a problem most of the time. हम लोग social service भी करते हैं ना? We give them like अरे ये कपड़ा पुराना है, ये चाहिए, उनको ये दे देंगे, but उनको बर्तन चाहिए, है ना? We give what we want to, so we are never listening. It's very important to listen. So for Oro Bruk also, sometimes I feel like अरे मेरा design बहुत अच्छा है. When these people are so backward, उनको style ही नहीं आता है. I feel like that. But then they are asking me for something, like that. So if I don't give that, my business is not going to it's not just emotions. It's practical also, and it will increase your business also. So I give them what they want now. So that way I've seen like remarkable increase in my sales also. So it's very, very important.
Whenever you want to build a successful team, it's more than the skills, more than the money, it's the people's emotion management. Take my words. You have to manage people's emotion, and empathy plays a role there. You have to manage people. That's my one pointer as well. Yeah.
We have another question.
Please.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. My question is to all three of you respected speaker is how we can balance our social relation with friends, families, relatives with our aims, ambitions and studies. It's very important, both are to manage at the same time, but it's like inversely proportional. So what are your solutions for this?
Should I go first? I think it's very simple answer to it. Prioritize. You have to prioritize. Abhi aisa hai ki this is the time to study. There'll come a time even when you want to study you cannot. Usme you'll get busy with your family life, you'll get busy with work and all like that. So abhi ke liye thoda sa jo family obligations hai, you can afford to put it, on the back burner and focus on your studies. And I think if your family is understanding, your friends understand, they will get that. It's very simple. They should be getting it. If they are not getting it, means then something is wrong.
With the parents.
With the parents, I don't think so. किसी का भी आप लोग का कोई भी parents prioritize करो हम लोग को ऐसे तो बोलता होगा. सब लोग तो हर वक्त यही तो बोलते हैं study है ना. I don't think so anyone. हाँ बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ ज़्यादा important हो गया है तो they might just say like please come, and that time you can, of course you can afford to, because you're not studying all the time. But since you've made it to NERIST, I don't think so किसी का parents ऐसे होता भी होगा. And अगर ऐसा है भी तो you can always try and make them understand. नहीं आ रहा है तो then just stop trying to explain and just study and focus.
दोस्ती टूट जाता है, like friends as well.
दोस्ती, when you become a someone, when you are successful, you can help your friend more. बाद में कर सकते हैं ना, पहले अपना तो ठीक कर लो.
Okay.
What I feel is that जब आप क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे थे ना तो मैं वही सोच रहा था कि शादी से पहले और शादी के बाद मेरे लाइफ में जो चेंजेस हुए so अच्छा ही था खैर, as you are putting it in YouTube.
Yeah, this will go on YouTube by the way. Yes.
So लेकिन क्या है ना मैं particularly उस पे आता हूँ family पे. So वहाँ पे आपको you have to be very clear in your mind और आपको वो easily communicate करना पड़ेगा to your parents, to your family. अगर एक आपको समझ में आएगा कि feedback कैसे आ रहा है, you try to manipulate, you have to do it. मतलब आपको कुछ भी करना है ना, आपको कुछ इंटरव्यू क्रैक करना है, कुछ भी करना है, जब आप पैनल पे बैठते हो ना, when you have to answer something, you have to understand their psychology as well. तो थोड़ा सा देख के उसको खेलना पड़ेगा आपको. अगर आपने उसको ओवरकम कर लिया तो वो स्ट्रेस नहीं आएगा बाद में उस साइड से. So that's how I'm managing my life.
So communication becomes the key there at the same time. Language and no, that's okay. I'm just no, I'm not an expert. I just said at times how we communicate matters more than what we communicate. Right? Our choice of words, tone, context. You cannot just, if you have a problem, you just cannot share it with your or express it with someone, with your parents or with your friends, without factoring in the context in which they were. That's where empathy comes into the picture. You have to see things from their perspective also, because you don't know what kind of struggles they are in. Because ultimately, as a parent and student, a parent and kid relationship, it is always an investment in terms of hope, investment in terms of time, and these days we are also burdened with the expectations from the society. Because when you are in NERIST today, or whichever institutions you have all of you gone through, you have become examples for someone else. So kahin na kahin expectations hai. And then if you are facing this kind of dilemma, I should say, or conflict, whichever is appropriate, then make sure that you have to share it, and share it in such a way that it takes into account their point of view, your position also, and then you arrive at a kind of settlement, should I say that? Negotiated kind of settlement. So where the choice of words, your tone becomes very important. Sometimes we want to say good things also, but the way we say it, the way we express it, body language हो, कुछ भी हो, या हम words ऐसा गलत use कर देते हैं, आपका intention क्या था वो बाद में पता लगता है. People usually react or respond on the basis of the words that you use. For example, if I'm meeting most of them for the first time, तो intention क्या है किसी word के पीछे, वो समझना थोड़े, I mean it takes time. But then if you choose your words very carefully, then usually 80 out of 100 times things fall into place. That's my take on the whole issue. Although you didn't ask us, but then I felt like intervening. Yes, sir.
One thing. Yeah. हम लोग बहुत लेट करते हैं सर ये कम्युनिकेट करने के लिए. जैसे जब प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है ना, आपको पता चलता है कि I'm having an issue with him or with you, तो हम लोग पहले उसको सॉर्ट आउट नहीं करते. वो एक पीक पे चला जाता है. जब मैं कुछ भी बोलता हूँ आपको हार्म होगा, आपको खराब लगेगा, आप कुछ बोलोगे मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. उस समय सर ये सॉर्ट आउट नहीं होता है.
अभी तो एक और प्रॉब्लम है, मुझे आपसे झगड़ा हुआ था. फर्स्ट थिंग, इंस्टेड ऑफ सॉर्टिंग इट आउट विद यू, आई विल पोस्ट इट इन द सोशल मीडिया एंड ट्राई टू पोलराइज द होल थिंग. मैं ये देखते रहूंगा कि कितने लोग का लाइक्स आया है. ओके, एंड देन इफ अगर मेरे पोस्ट में लाइक नहीं, उसके कमेंट में लाइक आया है, सो दैट मींस यू डोंट, I mean, we are on a different tangent altogether. How could you like his post? So we are constantly seeking validation from others for most of our, even for our struggles. Our struggles are very personal. Our difficulties are very personal, and as all three of them have rightly stated, that we have to solve our own problems. मेरा problem solve करने के लिए तीनों में से कोई नहीं आएगा, right? So there, our language plays a major role. It's not because I have studied language or something like that, so but even in day-to-day conversation also, we need to know what we speak and how we speak. Sir, your views, please.
In that situation, in that case, I'm still learning myself, so I'll make it really short. I think the social life, when you talk about balancing social life and career or your to-be career, first thing, I think a lot of people, when you say social life, they'll always relate it to relationships, friends, family, anyway. But I think a relationship with yourself is also a very big part of your social life.
Oh.
How you accept yourself, how you believe that, yeah, you're doing good, or maybe this is not good enough and you can do better. I think all of that is also a big part of social life. If you're really happy, if you're truly satisfied with what you're doing, and if you truly wake up every day thinking that I need to be better. So that part of your social life is also really important. And the relationship part, I think, whatever you do, how much ever you prioritize anything, if your relationships, friendships or anything else, if they break up, I think that would be, when friendships break up, right? If they break up and if they leave you or if they get distant, then it just wasn't meant to be. Because if truthfully someone is a friend, if truthfully someone is interested and is really truthful and honest with you, no matter what you do, how much ever importance you give to your studies or to your career, and how much ever you make them feel maybe not very important, they will understand you and they will think, okay, yeah, that person needs that time right now for herself or himself, and I will wait until the time that he is totally or she is totally fulfilled, and then maybe the social life can start. And they will be waiting for you. The wait will be worth it. That's the thing. So don't be worried about your relationships or anything, if they're breaking up or if they're not working out because you're focusing too much on your career. Focus on your career, it's always good. And the ones who will wait. Okay.
Can we have questions from Ashu Jain, madam, please? Any question, madam? Yeah, Aditya, please.
No,
Aditya is there.
One thing that I would like to say about depression.
Okay.
Depression, if
Madam,
it is a
closer, please.
Okay, if it is a clinical depression, so it is not something in our control that we say that we want to be happy and we can be happy. It's actually a clinical thing. So sometimes I feel like in the discussion it was a lot about I will not allow myself to be unhappy or depressed. But sometimes it's actually a clinical condition and needs to be taken care of by medical help. So as Rajani said, so this thing I wanted to differentiate between clinical depression and assumed depression. We are unhappy about something and we label it as depression. So that was my only comment or a question.
Noted, madam. Yeah. Okay. Vipasa, madam, any comment? And
Comment
our question to the panelists.
Thank you for making us witness such a great interaction. And I do not have any question that is in my mind right now. I only want to thank all of you for bringing up such a good program, and also the audience and the good questions that came. And with this, I think we got an insight to your personalities and what you have gone through. Everyone has a unique journey. And listening to each one of you, even the hosts, was really awesome. I had a really good experience, and it was really great. I learned a lot, and I hope in future also, Shristi Talks brings more events like this, and it will give a platform for people to express their stories, their views, and also for us and the audience to learn. So thank you so much. I can only be so grateful. Thank you.
Audience, please.
Is there any other question?
We have one question from audience.
So I have a question to any one of you who can relate. Since all you three are very successful person, have you ever come across the event like I have too much money, I'm satisfied with what I have, or should you have the mindset like no, bigger is always better, never settle?
Yes, please. The money guy.
It's very tough to answer. There are days when you feel like क्यों कर रहा हो यार, मतलब एकदम दिमाग खराब हो जाता है. मतलब आप पूरा महीना काम करोगे ना, at the end of the month आपके पास पैसे नहीं होंगे. तो उसी समय वाइफ को जाना होता है कहीं पे. एकदम ऐसा लगता है कि it's better to do job यार, ये छोड़ देना चाहिए. तो कभी-कभी लगता है कि बहुत मजा है मतलब करने में. So मनी तो नहीं बोलूँगा, लेकिन most of the time बहुत अच्छा लगता है करके. कुछ भी होता है ना बहुत अच्छा लगता है, मतलब फेल भी हो जाता है, पता है कि टारगेट मिस हो गया, पर फिर भी अच्छा लगता है कि वहाँ तक तो पहुँच गया. So money wise नहीं, but satisfaction wise मतलब मैं जो कर रहा हूँ वो बहुत अच्छा लगता है मुझे. So in that way I feel like if I'm happy what I'm doing, it doesn't make sense कि मैं कितना कमा रहा हूँ. So that's my take on that.
Well, I feel I have still a very long way to go. बहुत करना अभी भी बाकी है ऐसे लगता है. And though I'm just midway, I'm not even midway. I just feel like starting stage में ही है ऐसे लगता है. But at this phase, I'm very very happy. It's like इतना थक जाती हूँ and like he said, even I question like why am I like breaking? It's been like 2 years. I've not been sleeping well at all. Like I've been sleeping 4-5 hours. There's been hardly any time when I've slept, like, बहुत handful है जब I slept like 8 hours, 10 hours. I'm like so sleep deprived all the time. So sometimes if I want to celebrate some success, छोटा सा, I'm too exhausted to even celebrate. I just doze off. Like जैसे ही I reach my room, it's like I just fall flat in my bed. Sometimes when I'm so upset, the day went so bad, I want to sit and cry. I can't because I'm so exhausted and I just fall asleep and I know next day I have a whole lot of work to do and agar if I'm going to sit and cry and it's going to be waste of time. So next day, सारा पूरा schedule खराब हो जाएगा. So it's like I don't have time to think and in a way it's good. It keeps me so busy. So that means I'm like in a very happy phase but long way to go and still learning. I just don't feel like okay, इतना earn कर लिया now this is it. ऐसा तो लगता ही नहीं. But I feel yes, I don't want to become like workaholic which I have become. So I want to do more bike rides. I have to balance because life is so unpredictable. कल क्या होगा? No one knows. So it's like काम तो है ही है, but then this year I just promised myself that I'll take more breaks. I'll work. I'll work, but I'll party harder. So that's the plan.
Invite me, please. Tachang, about money, what do you have to say?
I've not done nearly as much as anything, so I mean, my thing hasn't even started yet, and I believe it's yet to even begin. So I don't know how to answer that question. I think you can always believe that things can be better, and there's always room for improvement. Never say that's it. Always try to be better, and always try to. Obviously, people will always tell you that perfection is impossible, there's no such thing as perfect. But one day you will look at everything around you and you will say that this is perfect and this is what I want. And until that day is there, just keep doing whatever you do and do it to your full potential. That's it.
If I may add, Tachang is always like, itna pata nahi, ye wo and all like that. I know him a little because थोड़ा बहुत तो पता है because family friends है and but I never had chance to see him and know a lot when he was growing up. But then I had the privilege of working with him. Like for Oro Bruk, I reached out to him and I said like, can you help me with the promo? I was very very impressed with the way his response was because he just won and he can have when somebody is very successful for a long time, I'm comfortable with that person because I know that person will be very humble, very easy to get along. But wo jo naya wala hota hai na, that's very hard. So I thought I was kind of skeptical because Tachang had just won this and that, and I was not sure how because ye छोटे मोटे लोग ही होते हैं जो बहुत ज़्यादा attitude होते हैं. But Tachang, I know he's going to go a long way. The way whatever I demanded, whatever I asked of him, he did more than that. He delivered more than that. And seeing such a young guy doing this and trying to make a difference and going to NGOs and trying to do a lot of things, he is a lot more than what he pretends to be or he's unaware of how he is. But he's a very nice kid.
I try to do what I can. That's it. Whatever helps me sleep.
I'll give my 1 minute of wisdom, not wisdom, my take on money thing. I think money is just a fuel. If you have more fuel, you have more energy. If you have more energy, you can do whatever you want to do. So this money has been devilized by our papa's generation. Money is the root cause of all evil. I don't believe in it. My mommy used to say कि पैसा पैर में नहीं उगता. I don't believe in it. पैसा पैर में उगता है, आपको पेड़ लगाने जानना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? and you should know exactly. I mean that. And like आप लोग अभी पेड़ बना रहे हो, जब फल आएगा, अभी आप बीज डाल रहे हो, पानी डाल रहे हो. Reliance has made the पेड़, वो सोता है पैसा आता है, right? And as I said, money is not evil. Money is the energy that you have. If you are an evil person, the money will exemplify it, magnify it. If you are a good person, your goodness will reach to more number of people. So please do not devilize money. Make money as you can, but then the money has to be white, as simple as that. The process of making money is what matters. Okay, then source of money as well. That's my take on money.
Hello, sir, ma'am. So, being from Arunachal and also being from pageant background, I guess you already know what's going around between our beauty queens and one of the women influencers regarding the topic women empowerment. So, my question is especially for our Mr. Arunachal and ma'am. What's the definition of women empowerment for you? And also, do you think the way of dressing defines a woman's personality?
Yeah.
I think, can a woman go first?
Ladies first.
मेरा focus सारा Tachang पे चला गया because especially it was the question for him, so I kind of cannot recall also. But then yes, I think I recall a bit now. So like the way a person, personality को वो define करता है. So I feel like थोड़ा बहुत कपड़े से भी पता चलता how the person is. Somebody who likes to dress up casual, somebody is like really formal, likes to be taken very seriously, and it does. And then my mom always says it's always important to be dressed well. Well means not always stylish, neat, clean. कुत्ते भी लोगों को means देखकर भौंकता है. It's like sometimes, because when you're very shabbily dressed, then the dog comes trying to attack you. So it's very important, especially those today's wale log, they are very messy and things. It's very important you dress up well, and it defines you neat, clean, pressed, iron clothes. It's important. And women empowerment, she said something about women. I kind of forgot the question.
No, she asked, what do you have to say about women empowerment?
Women empowerment, I think now the concept is changing now. पहले क्या था कि women empowerment means girls are fighting to dress the way they want, the revealing way, or to be able to party late night like men, to be able to apply bright red lipstick. But now women empowerment concept change हो रहा है, especially. And then I used to always think before कि women in the villages understood women empowerment more well, because they would focus on basic this on for getting water, or they would stand up for their rights and for roads, and they were very I liked that ways. I liked the women in the village. But these days I am very impressed with the new generation who's trying to women empowerment, where they're focusing on their health. It's not cool to smoke and drink anymore. I'm not against it anymore, but then a lot of them are focusing so much on their health and healthy living, yoga, and being just beyond just beautiful face. They are academically, they feel the need to study, to be more updated, and so many things. So even in the beauty pageants also, I think, if you've seen, the winners are never the most pretty ones. But, and the focus has also been that only, beauty with brains, with a purpose. And that's, Tachang is also there, kitna suna hai maine pageants mein, but Tachang was really, really, unka jab contest hua tha, everybody was very happy. They felt the most deserving, a very deserving person won this time like that. So, honestly, he's very intelligent also. It's not just about the face. So I think even the beauty pageants also, they're getting it. And if you have seen Miss Universe contest, I think you all were updated, right? There was a divorcee, there was a woman who was a little heavy, on the heavier side, there was a transgender woman. So even they are trying to open up concept of beauty in a very bigger way. I'm actually kind of disappointed कि इस बार Miss India में, somehow they did not include those, because now married women are also going for Miss Universe, this and that, but concept is changing in such a big way, and so I think it's on the right track.
Okay, so I'll start. Yeah, okay. Thank you for highlighting that point. Yes, I am very intelligent. I believe that. So, I mean, I know the video that you're talking about women empowerment, and I know you specifically want me to speak on that video. That's very interesting, obviously, for everyone. So what happened was someone on social media said women empowerment is not about girls dressing in revealing ways and I think going to parties and stuff like that. So why do people make it that? And there's this whole thing going on. And someone on Instagram also asked me my views on it. At that time I was very practical and realistic. I just said, you know, on social media people, they want to, they want to be in the limelight, they want to be highlighted and they want to have people's attention. And for that they will pick up topics which will gain more interest from people. Polarizing topics like women empowerment, feminism, or polygamy, whatever. These kind of points are, it's catchy. You go talk about cleaning your state and garbage disposal, not a lot of people are going to listen to you. So that's the first point, I think, practically, since it's from a social media influencer, so it could be to generate interest. Also, secondly, I think how you dress, we all know is how you, it's a form of expression. You express your personality, you express your intentions sometimes even by dressing a certain way. So I think how you dress totally makes sense, that it shows that either it shows either what you want or what you hope to be sometimes, or it also shows how you are as a person. But if you talk about revealing clothes, bad person, not revealing clothes, good person, I don't believe that. I think style and fashion is a whole different thing, and personality and character is a whole different thing. So that's totally not something that I believe. And also about women empowerment, I believe just empowerment in general is being able to do more and also breaking limitations. I think that's what empowerment is all about. So if a woman is doing more than what a woman is generally expected to do in a society, suppose in some societies, women are not even allowed to study. In some societies, they're not allowed to vote. In some societies, they're allowed to do all those things. So maybe they're not allowed to do sports. So if you can do what people don't expect of you, I mean the good things, and if you can achieve more in that and show to the world that you're capable of it, so that the society changes because you made that change. I think that is what women empowerment or any kind of empowerment is all about. It's about proving to the people that you think it wasn't possible, well, it is possible. So I think that's the main thing about empowerment for me. Thank you.
Mr. Kaustoov has to leave actually, so we have time for one last quick question. So, sir, the microphone.
We have one question from Sound.
Wait, sir,
good evening. Maybe the question will be a little long. There's a good job done by our host, both the professors. Can you have a clap for them? And, before I put the question to the panelists, let's put some question to the host. Kaustoov missed the opportunity to grill as Professor Bhattakur was giving him. Now, Professor Bhattakur had told that when you put some question in the exam, you told about the students. No,
that wasn't a light.
No.
That wasn't a very light.
Let's come to that. They write some arbitrary thing and then say you bring it out what was asked and what was answered. In fact, though I am also making questions for more than 3 decades, after writing a question, I read it again and again and I try to modify. Is it that what I expect from the student? Are they going to write that? Or they will stop somewhere? They will not give me the complete answer. So, when you get some arbitrary answer, you look at your question and see how should how you would have modified your question to get the answer you wanted.
Yeah, I got your question. If you allow me to answer that. See, actually, sir, my questions, most of the students for the last 18 years I have taught here. My paper is purely analytical and based on personal experience, if you have seen my questions, right? So now, one of the major flaws why we do not get the answers in these kind of papers, the way we are expecting them to write, is because of the fact that we have not been able, we as teachers, and when we say we as teachers, that includes you, that includes him, and all the teachers in general who are present here. We have asked or we have prepared them to learn something, but we have not prepared them to be critical about what they are learning. We have not taught them how to question what they are learning. We are teaching them to accept what they are getting it over there. So that could be one of the very, I should say, flaws, which actually stops them from giving the answer that maybe we are looking for. Yes, you are very right. Sometimes we have to rework on the questions. But then, as I said, like my questions are always based on, always experiential. There is no textbookish question in my papers. So it's all about how you feel about a certain situation. Now, how you feel about a certain situation is dependent or contingent upon how you think. So we have not been able somehow, maybe you have done it, but I have failed to a large extent in not being able to make them think about many things. I mean, they accept whatever we say in the class, but then not being able to critique, not being able to think is reflected sometimes in their answers. So more than them, it's my failure actually as a teacher. And I do admit it.
Kaustoov Goswami has to actually leave. Its train is about some time, and we do have a small section of felicitating our guests. So maybe we can.
I'll just, though I have something to say about Professor Pai, I'll just keep it. And, let me put the question to the panelists.
Oh yeah.
When they were introduced, Mr. Phassang, you told about, you introduced Mr. Phassang. And I'm still, 1 hour back, I'm still there. So, when you said that no alcohol, no tobacco,
soft drink.
Cold drink even cold drink. See, in this hall full of people, if I think of any such kind of students or from the audience, I think there may be, I should not say no one, maybe a countable few. Maybe a countable few. So, my question to the panelists, let's say, we say all that is bad for our health. Should we ban it? Okay. Like say cold drink, maybe many people may not agree. Say cigarette, gutka, tobacco, which is creating a large revenue. Should we go for creating that revenue, or should we completely ban it? The state should ban it without thinking of the revenue. What is the opinion of our panelists on that? Thank you.
So yeah, so let me answer that, because the domain in which I will be entering is actually fermented beverage, that's wine. So what I believe is that there are states which try to ban alcohol, but it's a human nature. More you could ban, more that will sell in black. So it's very difficult for even government to make that thing happen. It's a social thing. If you can bring that change in the society and make it a tradition or a culture to ban it or to avoid it, I think that will make an impact rather than banning by a government. So that's my take on that. Keeping my business safe. Yeah.
Should I answer or should we first let it?
So actually, it's like an emergency. He has to leave in some time. So, Arsis and Perina. Arsis and Perina, could you please take on the podium microphone backstage?
To the backstage, I agree with sir. It's like government also thinks ना, it's like जितना वो मना करते हैं तो फिर somehow they find other ways to get it, and plus the revenue goes to another state. So they have to think very practically, emotionally and health-wise. Itna cash strapped hote hain, revenue ka itna, like, you know, there's so very few limited sources. So then they bank on it because usse bahut zyada milta hai. So it's like whatever the government does actually becomes secondary. It depends on us. If we don't take it only, to fir wo to it will not sell only, na. हम जितना भी ban करे, government करे, so people will find ways to get it. So it has to come from us. It has to come from within. And somewhere the government knows that very well, and that's why, like, you know, so they go ahead with it. If they knew that, like, you know, ban kar dega, sab band kar dega, nahi lega, they would have done it long time back.
I think, you know, milk और अगर आप अल्कोहल को कंपेयर करेंगे तो अल्कोहल ज़्यादा बिकता है मिल्क से. It's a fact.
Okay. I think the nature of your question was mostly because I said that it's a bad practice and if it should be totally banned. What I believe is, obviously, it cannot be totally banned. However, when I say that we should not do such things, I don't mean it that we absolutely should not do such things or no one should do such things. What I actually mean, every time I support this practice or actually discourage this practice, what I say is that a lot of young people, especially these days, tend to divert from, you know, the path that is right for them due to these practices. That's the thing. It's not that these practices are just absolutely bad and no one should ever try something like that. However, they are causing harm to society because a lot of people, when they're growing up, should not try such things because we're not mature enough to regulate it in a proper manner. Once we have reached a certain stage, once we are mature enough and we understand that something is bad or something is bad to a certain limit, we learn that, okay, maybe I can drink this much alcohol and it's okay. Maybe I can not drink this much or not take this at all or take this sometimes. But once we have to reach that stage first. But before that, what happens mostly these days is a lot of people are experiencing alcohol and experiencing, you know, intoxicating substances much before they are even learning about life. So that is what's harming society. So that is what I discourage. I mean, that's the whole spirit of the thing. It's not about the substance, exactly. It's the effect that it brings. So, everything. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will do with the felicitation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Arsis and Perina, please take the stage.
So, ladies and gentlemen, before we wrap up, the team of Shristi Talks and Vartalab would like to share a token of love to our respected guests for this thought-provoking and frankly fun-filled conversation that we all enjoyed. A huge round of applause for our panelists. So, first, I would like to request SK Sahu sir upon the stage. Thank you so much, sir. Now, we'd like to request SK Sahu sir to present Mr. Kaustoov, a very beautiful Tagin bag and Apatani muffler. A huge round of applause.
Can you show this? Please have your face. Stand in, please. Stand up.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Next, we'd like to request Dr. Assis Paul upon the stage. Sir, we'd like for you to present Madam Tenzin with a very beautiful Khamti bag and a very elegant Nisi muffler. A huge round of applause, please. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would like to request Dr. S. Choudhury upon the stage. Thank you, sir. We request Dr. Choudhury to present Mr. Tachang with a Khamti bag and Nishime muffler. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much to the panelists of this edition of Vartalap. I request the audiences to give a huge round of applause for the panelists and the guests. Also, I request the audience to continue with the applause for our respected hosts, Dr. Raju Thakur and Sir Nabam Pei. Truly, they have guided us to the depths of conversations and made us feel very intellectual. Thank you, sir.
So we'll have the photo session now. After we are done with photo session with the panelists, audience is allowed to move there, and with your celebrated man and woman, you can take a photo. Please.